This looks like this would be the garden. If we can just take a machete, clear all of this out, this would be the garden.
Today is the big day where we finally get to clear out the space in order to turn it into the community garden. I brought along my cousin because she is the one that introduced me to the space. She is the machete expert, and overall, I don't think I could have done this without her help.
Siempre trata de aguantarlo para que le dé, no esté bang bang cada vez que le da.
Okay.
So, no le vas a dar de frente, le vas a dar de lado, cerrado.
Wow.
Hey, your arm. Suelta arriba, suelta, libera. Y cuando lo vaya a bajar, lo aprietas. ¡Bum!
Okay.
Usa este, usa este. Este tiene más peso, este es muy liviano.
Sí. Te dobla un poquito.
Sí. Ahí está. Sí, este es muy liviano.
Sí,
Está bien.
porque ese es más fuerte.
Upon arriving, we decided to actually fully explore this space because last time I was a little too scared, I'll be honest with you. I didn't have a machete with me, I didn't have anybody else, but because she was there and we had the tools, I felt comfortable enough to actually go inside the buildings. And man, was it like a time warp 20, 30, 40 years back. This is a space where my parents, or my mom at least, her mom, and many of our older family members actually attended when they were younger. And I'll be honest, I still got the creeps walking through this place because of how deserted and quiet it was. We also found out that the place was completely ransacked. There was a lot of things that were stolen after it got shut down. There was also plenty of chickens. That's why we found these really cool eggs, which we will not be taking. We will just be leaving. And plenty of dogs, including this jawbone from a dog. And so this place was full of life. Usually I would feel bad knocking down all of these trees. However, once I learned that almost all of these trees are actually a very invasive species, that's why it's the only really thing that you see, I was more than happy to use this machete, get my practice in, knock these down. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna provide so much sunlight to the floor. Another positive from cutting so much material is that we'll have plenty of it for when we want to create fires and when we want to make compost and even using them as stakes that future trees can rely on or our vining plants can climb on. Now, if you noticed, I'm not cutting it at the very bottom, and that's because I still want to have some things that our plants can climb on, because we will be growing plenty of beans. And I also want the lizards and birds to have something to perch on. So I'm not completely destroying their habitat. And after just a couple of hours of work, we were able to make a huge difference. But this is not all. We're going home for the day, but the next day I will return with the plants that are going to be going into the ground. And I'm so grateful that I brought my cousin along, because not only was she able to show me how to properly use the machete, we were also able to carve out this path that leads directly to the door that we want to get to. After weeks of growing these plants all from seed right in my very backyard, it is the day they are finally going into the ground in the community garden. All of these plants are going to be easily grown because they are very well suited for this environment. In fact, some of the plants I am growing from the fruits that I purchased at a local market. The very first one being a staple in many people's daily diet here on the island, and that is the Puerto Rican calabaza, or the Puerto Rican pumpkin. Now, this plant is so easy to grow. So easy, in fact, that my mom gave me a story of how she threw some pumpkin seeds in the backyard and she left the island. And when she came back many months later, she found the entire backyard just sprawling with this plant and giving plenty of fruits. Absolutely no maintenance is needed for these pumpkins. All they need is water. And with the rainy season here, I really won't have to go back and maintain it too much. The next plant that I'm extremely excited about, because it is vining, it is going to be able to grow on some of the trees that I left standing and grow on the fences. And that is the black bean, the Cuban black bean to be exact. A very important, bean in our diet. It's something that's consumed almost daily. And then also we have things like okra, which is a personal favorite of mine to consume for its medicinal properties. We also have the gandul, which is extremely important, the pigeon pea. It's extremely important in people's daily diets. And these all are very low maintenance plants. As long as you give them great soil and you give them good sunlight and regular watering, then you will have no problem growing plenty of these. Now that the area has been cleared out, it is time for some planning. We have to figure out where exactly the sun is moving, where most of the water is going to be being pulled up. And we also have to figure out what direction the plants are going to be growing in and how we can provide space for everybody. Now, I am planting them next to this cement because I know that this cement is very porous, so it will soak in a bunch of water, and it also holds a bunch of water underneath. So it is a little bit of a hack to always provide my plants with a water source. And of course, with it being so close to the walkway, I won't have to go far in order to harvest or to check on them. Now, with the vining plants, I am going to utilize the fence that is already here so that they can climb on it. What's good about this area is that it is partially shaded, so it won't dry out as quick. but also the soil that I found was so easy that I didn't even need a shovel. I just needed my hands because most of it was straight compost because it was underneath one of the major trees that were in the garden space. The soil, because it has been untouched for so long, has been able to compost so much of the leaf litter that it is extremely soft to the touch, and these plants are going to love it. I will make sure to give you guys an update in a couple of weeks, but here is what they look like. And I wanted to show you what the soil looked like as well, because you know I am an absolute nerd about the soil if you watched our last video series. Look how soft and supple, and look at the color, how rich and dark it is. It is full of nutrients, and I expect these pea plants or these bean plants to grow the fastest as pea plants normally would. And after hours, I could finally call it a day without any water because I forgot to bring some. I ended up having to come back the next day, but all of the plants survived. We have about 12 in total, and I will keep you guys updated as the weeks go on. But in the meantime, they are looking amazing. They are adapted. The pea plants or the beans have already grown some, as you can see. And with the rain coming in over the next couple of weeks, I won't have an update until then. So be patient with me. These videos are going to come. It is a long-term project, but if you want to know how we got to this point, go ahead and click on the playlist, or you can click on our last playlist and check out our other project.